Let's start recording. But in these particular situations, if your plan was to wait for the 30-minute opening range to get broken, and here's that news or the Trump talking or a headline pop, and boom, here it goes, and it explodes from breaking the 30-minute opening range at 21,404 all the way up to a damn price of 441 in a blink of an eye. If you are market ordering in, good luck. You probably got absolutely destroyed. However, what's the game plan? What's the rule? What was the initial thought process? The initial thought process is I need to see my 30-minute opening range get broken, and then I need to see that new high get confirmed. Is that correct? Am I wrong for saying that? I mean, I've been preaching this, whatever level. It doesn't have to be the 30-minute opening range. It can be the initial balance. It can be a previous hour candle high or low. It can be the previous day high or low. Hell, it can be a 20 SMA trade. I don't really care. We need to see something get broken, right? And then we need to see it get confirmed. And when we see it get confirmed, that's our entry to go. For those traders who miss out on this because, they didn't take the first move and they said, man, if I just had a stop order there with a 20-point take profit or 30-point take profit, I would have gotten filled. Sure. But what happens to everyone else who market orders into this? They have that FOMO. Oh my gosh, we're going to go to the moon here. And then it pulls back in literally faster time than you have to even click the mouse, right? So again, does that throw away your original trade plan to get in over the 30-minute opening high range? New break? Absolutely not. Step one happened right here on the print. Great. Thanks news. Thanks headlines. You did a fantastic job breaking the 30-minute opening range. All I need to do now is sit and wait for the new high to get taken out. The new high gets taken out here at 7:56 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. Here's your new high. Here's your 5-day simple moving average on the daily time frame. Runs right into that. Cool. Pulls back for one little bit of 1 minute consolidation, pulls back, and then absolutely starts to rip. Absolutely starts to rip. So getting in over that 441 price, taking it all the way up to 447, consolidating back toward 439, you're down 5 points. 5 points in this whole situation. If we can't stomach a 5-point pullback, we're in the wrong business, boys. We're in the wrong business. Nothing about this candle was telling us we're going down. We want to sit on your butt. You want to hold that position until it starts to pop into your price target. Now, some of you guys are looking for 5 points or 10 points. Some of you guys are looking for 20 points. Some of you guys are looking to hold this thing, move a stop loss to break even and hold a runner, right? Doesn't really matter. In a matter of 3 minutes here, this shoots up to 459. Guys, this is almost freaking 20 points in a matter of 2 minutes here. Beautiful play here. For me, I was a one and done guy here on this 20 points. What am I going to do? Forget about it, right? The market went up a lot more than that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Am I going to sit and cry about that I didn't catch all this move? No, because what I know is that if I have a trade plan and I come into something where I can identify on a day in and day out basis one or two specific levels, specific patterns, and just sit on my butt and just wait for them to happen, good things can happen, right? Good things can happen when you sit and you wait for your plan. Now, again, are you always going to execute your plan? Are you going to execute your plan, and is it going to always work just because you executed your plan? Absolutely not, right? Absolutely not. Are you going to take some losses? Sure. But you know what the thing is here is when you sit on your butt and you wait an hour and 20 minutes for something to populate, and you take that idea and let's say it doesn't work, guess what? Your mental equity is already spent. Like, you did all of that waiting. You executed on the idea. And let's say, for example, it didn't work. You're not so much like, your brain is not so much thinking, okay, where's the next setup? Because you're not in that state of mind. If you were in the state of mind where, okay, we just broke 30-minute opening range, I got to go long. Oh no, we're pulling back, I got to go short. Oh, we're going back up. Let me go long. If you're in that type of mindset, scalping back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, then sure, every time you take a loss, you're going to feel like you need to get right back into the next move. You're going to feel like you need to see it set up all over again. Okay. I'm a scalper, but I'm a calculated scalper. I'm not a scalper who's firing off 36 trades a day every single candlestick just because we're going up or down. I'm firing scalps at key levels. I'm firing scalps that sometimes take me an hour to wait for. That's what I'm scalping. I'm scalping a specific setup, a specific level. And I think people have scalping misconstrued. They're thinking that scalping means that, okay, we're pulling back. Like, let's use this current price action. We're pulling back, got to go short, right? You're taking this rejection, you're going short, you're getting 4 or 5 points, you're getting out of it, right? Okay, we're starting to bounce here. Let's use the low as a floor. Let's go long, right? Like, you think that you're trying to dictate every single move up or down. You know, anticipation is the killer of a lot of good traders, right? There's a lot of really, really good technical analysis out there who can definitely read a chart, who can definitely zero in and work on a strategy. You can backtest all you want, but you're nothing more than an anticipator, right? You're nothing more than an anticipator when the market comes live. How many of you are actually waiting for the setup to happen? How many of you guys are actually calling it quits when the setup doesn't work? Right? That's the thing, guys. This trading stuff is extremely mental. It has nothing to do with how well you can draw lines on the chart. It really doesn't. Okay? I've said it once, I'll say it again. I'm going to live and die by this. Strategies they're like assholes, guys. Okay? They're like opinions. Everyone's got one. Everyone's got a way to trade. Everyone's got the perfect way to capture a runner, the perfect level to scalp, the perfect indicator. Everyone's got one. You, me, the next guy, the guy on Twitter, the guy on YouTube, the guy on around the corner. Everyone has a way of trading. Okay? How well do you execute that way of trading? That's the main thing. How well do you execute that way of trading? And I'm going to tell you, the mental side of this is a hell of a lot harder than learning a strategy. The problem with the strategies is that you don't give them long enough to develop. You've never ran through the math long enough to see these things work out. Okay? You've never ran through 100 trades and see that, hey, after 100 trades, yeah, my win rate is 71%. I'm gonna endure a couple losses. Hell, I might even take 2 or 3 losses back to back to back. And if you're taking 1 trade a day, that might be 3 days where you're losing. How strong are you? How strong mentally are you to do that? Right now, I think most of us take more than 1 trade a day. So maybe it's, you have a losing day today and tomorrow you're back on the saddle. But the thing is that if you're not if you're not coming into the markets with a plan and you're not sticking to that plan, you're dead. Okay, you're dead. You might as well start learning how to do something else, right? E-commerce is great. You can do some thrifting and sell some shit on eBay. You can go to the local park and collect cans, right? Recyclables pays as well. Like, you can do a lot of things for extra side cash. If you're not going to stick to the script and you're not going to follow a plan, you're as good as toast, right? You're no good to yourself at that point in time. Showing up to the markets each and every single day, expecting something good to happen when you're doing the same consistent, stupid bullshit is not going to get you in a spot that's going to have any change. If you want to see change, you need to change. Does that make sense? If you want to see change, you need to change, because you cannot control the outcome. Guys, you cannot control if the market starts chopping for 45 minutes inside of a range. Do you know what you can control? Sitting on your hands and not doing anything. In the past, I've been on YouTube for 5 years now. In the past, I do random live streams on YouTube, and some people in the past have said, well, why aren't you taking a trade, right? Why aren't you taking a trade? If you knew how to trade, you would take a trade. I'm not, just because someone knows how to trade doesn't mean that you guys all know how to trade. Just because someone knows how to trade doesn't mean you're firing the fucking button every 2 seconds, right? If I don't like it, I'm not taking it, right? Like, if I don't like anchovies, I'm not eating anchovies. Does that make sense? Like, you're not going to make me eat anchovies because you like anchovies. It doesn't make any sense, right? Some people like anchovies. I fucking hate anchovies. Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? So Also need to get that through your head when you break that down. Just because you guys know how to trade, just because you guys see something on the chart that's, oh, well, maybe I've taken this trade before, doesn't mean that you have to take it. I mean, it's got to be in line with your plan. And if you're not coming into the day with a specific plan, forget about it. You can't show up to the market and say, I'm going to be reactive. Like, I'm going to just look at the price action, and whatever I feel the price action is doing, I'm going to go long or short. It doesn't make any sense, guys. Like, you can't show up and just because the market's going up and you don't feel that it should be going up, you're starting to short the market. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what was the plan? What, did you have a level that we needed to break before we went short? Great. Did that happen? Okay, great. Did you take the trade? Great. What was the outcome? Right? Because you don't have any control over the potential outcome. You only have control over the plan. Once you fire the trade and you're in the actual trade, your job is done technically, because your job was to find the trade, mark out the plan, and the outcome falls in line with the plan. Okay, I was supposed to take profits here. I'm following the plan. I was supposed to get out of the trade here. I'm following the plan. Now, if you're not strong enough mentally to do that, you either need to get it together really, really quickly, or you need to find something else to do, right? And again, some people think that, that could be harsh, right? You just keep showing up to the markets. One day it's going to click. I'm going to tell you, it's not going to click. You're going to be here in 2 or 3, 4, or 5 years later. It's not going to click if you don't start doing the things that need to be done. It's plain and simple. First person that ever joined my room, Biggs. He popped in the other day, started small talking. He's doing great on equities, swing trading. He's transitioned. He's evolved his game over the years, and does really well for himself. Does really, really well for himself trading. But there was a point in time where he was working with me for about a year. Okay, maybe 6 months, actually 6 months to 9 months. He was working with me. He'd win some trades, he'd lose some trades. He was a break-even trader in terms of trader. In terms of like an investor, he's a great investor. He's made a lot of money. But in terms of trading, breaking even, having some really good weeks, breaking even, kind of giving it back. And he said, I just can't, he's like, I don't know what the hell's going on, right? Like, I had a phone conversation with him. He said, I don't know what the hell's going on. He's like, I think I need to learn, something else. I need to learn, can you help me learn some more strategy? Can you help me learn some more levels? What else should I be looking for? And this is after 6 to 9 months of trading every single day with this guy, right? And me and him have turned out to be really good buddies. And every single day, we'd laugh, we'd talk, we'd trade, we'd get pissed off, we'd joke around about the trades, whatever, right? And I told him like this: I've taught you everything I fucking know. Like, there's nothing more that I can tell you that's going to help you any more than what I already know. At this point, it's all coming down to you. Either the lack of confidence or, the inability to control yourself, and I can't help that. As much as I can sit here and say, we need to do this, we need to practice this risk management, we need to practice this confidence, we need to practice this execution. At the end of the day, it comes down to you, right? And the last thing that I told him was, if you can't change and get it together, I can't help you anymore. And it wasn't I can't help you in terms of, well, I'm just going to kick you out of this community, but I can't help you. There's nothing more that I can do for you. Like, that's it. Like, I mean, I have to eventually I'm a human being myself, guys. I can't sit here and reiterate the same things over and over and over and over again. Every single one of us, including myself, knows what the hell we're doing wrong or not doing on a day in, day out basis that's holding us back. When are you going to buckle down and get through that? Get some toughness and get through that. And that was the last thing that I told him is, I got nothing for you, my man. Like, I'm done. Like, I can't help you anymore. And sure as shit, he took it to heart. He knew what his problem was. His problem was entering into a day trade. And we had talked about the problem over and over and over. And he knew the fucking problem. But we get into a day trade. And because, you know, when you're kind of playing these options or playing equities, you can hold them a little bit longer than we can here in the futures. You're not going to get burned too much. And the problem is you're always going to find a spot where you can dollar cost average. You're always going to find another spot where you can find a support or find a resistance that's going to align with what your bias is, right? What you think. And the big problem there was swing trading overnight on a trade that you entered into as a day trade. So if you entered into something as a day trade, that was the plan. Why the hell are we holding it into tomorrow? Unless it was a runner in complete profit where the stop loss is at break even. In worst case scenario, if you lose, you're still winning money on it. We should never enter into a trade that was meant to be a scalp or a day trade and we're still holding it tomorrow or the next day. That's where he was getting burned. That's where the problem was. Cut that out of the game, everything changed. You want to be a swing trader, be a swing trader. That's a whole different outlook and risk, and we can play that a little differently. But I had spoken to him once I seen, you know, this guy's really coming around, and I'm just making a point here, guys. Market's not really doing shit. You need to lose 21,493 before we can go down, or you need to take out the highs before we can go up. It wasn't until that when I, you know, we talked, and after that, many times after that, and he used to tell people too that were in the room, he's like, you know what changed everything was when D said he couldn't help me anymore. When he says he was done with me, basically, which I didn't say I was done with him. I just said, I can't help you anymore. Like I've taught you, if I've expressed everything that I know technically, again, I can only teach what I know technically. I can only teach what I do around these technicals, right? I can't click the buttons for you. I can't size for you. I can't walk away from your computer screen for you. I can't do that, right? But he would tell people that it wasn't until he said he was done with me that I had to get my ass in gear, right? And it's like a lot of times us as traders, we're looking for a crutch. We're looking for the crutch. What's the best strategy? That's a crutch. What's the best stop loss? That's a crutch. You know, what's the best mentor? That's a crutch. What's the best instrument to trade? That's a crutch. All of these things are crutches for our own wrongdoings, for our own lack of responsibility. It's no one's responsibility to walk away from the PC other than you. It's no one's responsibility to click buy when you're supposed to, when your setup shows itself, other than you. It's no one's responsibility to cut the loser and not tell yourself, hey, I'm going to dollar cost average. Let me hold it. Let me look for a different scenario where I can get out of this trade, you know, because I don't want to lose a trade. It's no one's responsibility but yours. But yours. What's the worst that's going to fucking happen? You take a $200 loss. You were wrong. You come back tomorrow. You fire it again. Like, unless anyone is on their deathbed, and I hope no one's on their deathbed, but unless we're going to wake up, and we're not going to wake up tomorrow, what the fuck is the rush? What is the problem here? Why we're just not doing what we're supposed to be doing? You missed the trade went without you, so what? You waited 2 hours for a setup, it wicked you in, went the other way, so what? What are you concerned about? No one is sitting on the other side of the computer screen laughing at you. No one is saying, oh, haha, look at AJ, he took a losing trade. Haha, look at Bill, he didn't know what he was doing. Look at Billy, look at Calvin, look at Dave, look at Charlie. They don't know what they're doing. No one gives a shit. There is no secret man in the box. There is no one pulling the strings here. No one knows where your stop loss is at. No one is hunting you. The market makers don't give a fuck what you're doing. The person on the other side, and to be honest, we have a great community. A bunch of really good guys in here. But let me be honest, guys. No one really gives a shit what you're doing on a day in and day out basis, guys. No one cares. No one cares. Okay? No one cares. This is for you. This is you versus you. And to get to that next level, you got to have some confidence. You got to start doing the right thing day in and day out. And the only way that you're going to start doing the right thing day in and day out is by putting yourself in the fire and actually doing it. You are looking for the solution before you've worked the problem. Does that make sense? You cannot find the solution, winning strategy, before you've worked through the problem. Taking a bunch of trades and understanding the win rate, adjusting the stop loss and take profit. You cannot get to the solution. Well, I want to get a funded account without actually blowing some accounts, taking some trades, learning your emotional tolerance with the size that you should be trading. How many contracts does it realistically trade to pass these things? How much do I want to invest on a day in and day out basis? Are you treating this like a business, or are you treating this as some craft, some hobby, right? A hobby is something you keep learning and you keep, having fun with, and some days it's fun and some days it's a little tough and challenging. This is not a hobby. This is not some craft. This is a business. And at the end of the day, it's a money business. And if you're not ruthless with your money, you're going to get absolutely smashed. And that doesn't mean to be a tightwad. That doesn't mean, well, I don't want to lose any money on this trade. You need to lose. And if you don't understand that you need to lose to make money, you're going to get absolutely crushed. You're going to get absolutely destroyed. You've got to start with your number one problem. Figure out what your problem is. Everyone knows what their problem is before you're even asked. Everyone knows what your problem is. What's your problem? Is it oversizing? Don't fucking oversize. Like, how does someone tell you not oversize? How does someone teach you to not oversize? Is it over trading? Why are you over trading? What are you worried about? Like, my friends, are you not going to show up tomorrow? Are you not going to be here tomorrow? Is there something of concern that I should be concerned about each and every single one of you guys not being able to show up tomorrow? So what are we concerned about? Is it taking a loss? Why are we concerned about taking a loss? Even the best strategy in the world is going to take a loss. You think you're going to avoid loss? You're not going to, so get through the loss so you can get to the wins. The way I look at it is, I need to get through at least 3 to 4 losses every 10 to 12 trades. I've got to get through them. Because the faster I can get through those 3 to 4 losses every 10 trades, every 11 trades, I'm going to make money. And I know that. Do you? Do you know that? Let's ask a question. For those of you guys who are scalping, what's your fucking win rate percentage in the last 50 trades? Somebody give me a number. And if you don't know the number, that's my point already. You're treating this as a hobby, showing up every day, thinking that some magical green number is going to show up on the screen just because you're showing up every day. What's the win rate in the last 50 trades, guys? What is the win rate? If you stay quiet and you don't answer, then you're just proving my point. You're showing up to get free information, free trades. You're looking for a crutch. What is the win rate on your strategies? And I don't care if it's just one particular strategy or your strategy's bundled as a package, right? Like, whatever levels you're playing. What is your guys' win rate over 50 trades? Do we not know that? If we don't even know that, we've got to start from there. Like, go take 50 trades and then come talk to me, right? Like, I'm almost to a point here where, when people come into this room, I'm going to ask them the question, what's your win rate over 50 trades? And then what's the problem? If you don't know it, we'll go take 50 trades, come back and talk to me. 82% win rate. So we've got to get through, let's give AJ one more trade. We've got to get through 3 losing trades to get profitable. We've got to do it, right? So if I'm AJ, if I'm Charlie, 70 to 80%, I want to take 3 losing trades as fast as I can. Whether they come back to back, great. I know that I'm going to go on a run of 4 or 5 winning trades. I know that I'm going to go on a run of 2 to 3 winning trades. I want to get through those losers as fast as I can. I don't want to go into this and think that, well, I took a loss, and then we get all bent out of shape on it, and we start now trading things that are outside of our strategies. Keep an eye on the highs, guys. 21,567, I have resistance here. Let's go back to this. I'm getting this level from this high here, right? We're approaching a full-on breakout. And here's what's going to happen to a lot of people. If we break out through 567, everyone's going to want to get fucking short. Guys, we just consolidated for 6 days here, and now we're starting to break out. You better for sure start looking for, if we do break out at 560, you better start looking for pullbacks, looking for those bounce opportunities. So if we know that we're going to lose in 10 trades, right? Let's take a small sample. If we know that we're going to lose about 3 trades, why on earth would we not want to get through those 3 losing trades as fast as possible? What's preventing us? What's preventing us? Because how come I hear when people take one loser, it spirals into a tilt day? If you take two losers, it spirals into a tilt day. Why on earth should it ever spiral? Now, if your win rate is 70% and you've taken 6 losses in a row, then we've got a problem. We need to look at the strategy. We need to see what we're doing wrong in that strategy. But why would we ever get our panties in a bunch if you know that you're going to take 2-3 losses every 10 trades? You know that already, right? Like, I think for the past week, the 30-minute opening range break confirm has worked every single day. Even if you're only taking that one trade, it's worked every single day. Break, confirm has worked. Break, then confirm has worked. Probably the same thing with the initial bound. It's been around the same level multiple days now. You know what I'm saying, guys? So, can we start getting to the root of the real problem here? This market is probably going to push up into 550s here, 560s. Can we start getting into the real root of the problem of why we're not progressing? You know? Why are we not progressing? Because at the end of the day, do you realize that there's no magic sauce here? There's no magic sauce. Okay? Again, like, a lot of us need to get out of the learning phase too as well. Like, unless you've been trading for a month, unless you've been trading for 3 months, we need to get out of the learning phase. We need to get into the action phase, like where we are taking action. We are taking action in terms of taking trades. We are taking action in terms of working on our discipline. We are taking action in terms of our execution on entries. Action. No more learning. What are we learning? Do you realize you're never going to learn everything? The market does something different every single day. It has the same like repetition patterns, but the market moves different every single day. So how are you ever going to learn the market? How are you ever going to learn what works all the time? You're not going to learn that. If you keep searching for learning, you're going to just be stuck in the learning phase forever. You know, and I don't understand why we would want to be stuck in the learning phase forever. I want to get into the making money phase. I want to get into, okay, fine, I blew a fucking account today. I'm coming back because I got 10 more. We're going to keep on taking these trades. You know why? Because I win at 70 to 80%. And I know that, you know, I took way too much size on that one trade. I blew that account up. Great. But my next 6 trades could all be winners. And that next account could get paid out. This is a numbers game. We have to keep working through the numbers day in and day out on day in and day out. We're constantly looking for, should we be long? Should we be short? Should we be long? I hate those type of questions. You see that kind of stuff all the time on social media. You don't know if we should be long or short right now. We got a bigger problem. When did you start trading? Do you think that I have a crystal ball? And again, I'm just speaking in third person. But these people who say that kind of crap on social media, do you think the market's going to go up? Should we be going short now? I don't know. What is the chart telling you? What is the chart? What is your strategy telling you? My strategy right now is telling me that if we get below 493, maybe I have short opportunity into 470. Okay, do you want to take that short or not? Like that's the question. My strategy is saying, well, fuck, as long as we're holding 493, I can get long here, and if we take out 536, this is going to have potential to 467. That's what's going to happen. 2 sides to every trade. If I didn't have 2 sides to every trade, guess what? There would be no market. There's always buyers and sellers in each one of these pockets here. The problem is that you, mister, are trying to figure out where you're going to only be right. Newsflash, pal. You're not only going to be right. Newsflash. You're not. Manage your risk. Okay? No idea is a bad idea. The only bad idea is an idea that doesn't execute to plan. That's it. So start figuring it out, right? That's the monologue for the day. That's the monologue, guys. You know? If feelings were hurt or you felt like I was talking to you, great. Because that's the kind of conversations that I have with myself on a day in and day out basis. Right? I have these conversations. I'm really hard on myself too. So we got to get it together. We got to get it together. And the main thing that I see a lot of is, you know, the business plan coming into prop trading is wrong from the jump. Like a lot of people have not allocated a certain amount that they're going to invest into their business, and like you're kind of just operating like open doored, meaning, okay, well, I bought a handful of accounts and I'm just trading them, but if I lose some of these accounts, now you're like, oh, I lost them, so like, do I buy more? Like, do I learn how to trade more because I just failed them? No, it's like, how much did you plan on investing this month into them? $250, $500, $100? How much did you plan on investing into your business? You hammer it until that money is gone. Like if I own a convenience store and I buy inventory, I'm buying the inventory that's going to sell because I plan on selling through that inventory. I'm not just buying it in hopes that, oh, let me just hold on to it here. I'm not making any money if I do that. This is a money business. We got to put money in to take money out. The more money we put in, the more money we're going to take out. It's like when I told people, like I tell people who are trading options accounts and personal accounts, the more money you have, the more money you're going to fucking make. It is what it is. The guy who comes in here trying to trade $1,500 in options, he's going to get absolutely smoked by the guy who's got a $50,000 account every single fucking time. Because the person who's got $1,500 in their trading account is so worried about the loss, and they want to be picture perfect, and they want to learn the right strategy, and they don't want to lose, and what's the best stock to trade. Versus the guy who's got 50,000, he's looking at 7 different stocks and he's firing off trades on all these different levels. Some of them are going to work, some of them are going to win. But guess what? Because he's managing his P&L correctly, I got a buddy who fires off trades literally from the open. Guys, I'm dabbling into, you know, Netflix. I'm starting some starter positions here, you know, 5 lots starters, and then he's not even coming around that for like an hour, right? And looking back, okay, I'm fired in Amazon, fired in Apple, fired in Netflix, and all these trades are just running at once. You know what I'm saying? But how come the traders who don't make money are so focused on the one trade that they've got on right now? Like, you're so focused on this one singular trade that you have on right now, when real traders are firing trades a mile a minute, right? So, you know, I want to see people succeed, but I don't want to see the same problems over and over and over, right? Like, you've got to get tired of going through the same problems over and over and over. When are you going to make a change? Right? When are you going to make a change? And again, if you think that your change is just understanding the markets and the movements better, that's not the change. That's not, like, you can get over that. Like, that's a pipe dream. You're never going to figure it out. So what's going to be the other change, right? Because you're not going to determine where these markets are going. What the hell? Why do I have this level right here? 21,297. What was that? Is that yesterday's lows? That was yesterday's lows. I'm going to make this different. Yesterday's lows, I'm going to put as a solid line, and I'm going to make it red. Yesterday's highs, I'm going to change this as well. Let's just do, I'm going to do yesterday's highs in green. Actually, I don't really need that. I don't need the yesterday's highs on there, because look at where my daily 5 SMA is at, right? Like, why do I need to put 2 levels there? These are only 15 points, 17 points apart. Anyways, guys, this is going to trickle into 560. Who the hell is long, right? Like, who's long? Anyone long? Anyone long? You know? Nice, Bill. Bill, how we looking P&L wise? Green today? Let's just do a roll call here. I mean, there's people listening. Bill, what's the P&L? AJ, Charlie, R. Salisbury, Yagos, Viv, Calvin, Bill, Azik, Dave. How we looking? You know, don't get quiet and sit in the back. Get involved. Oh, gotcha. Did not trade today. Okay. Got a no trade Zeke. Mixed bag, one loss for about 250, one winner for 125. Red on eval. Well, let's keep firing the eval, Zeke. I mean, if we get more trades, let's fire. It's an eval. Let's just fire. And again, the later on we get in a day here, the price action is slowing down. You've got some good structure. I wouldn't be afraid to take a trade on that PA as well. Now that price action is starting to slow down, you can kind of see these levels. If you like something, fire it. Green, 2 days. 2 days in May, red. Charlie's up 100 to 200 on all accounts traded. Yeah, I would. How many these evaluations, Charlie? Calvin's traveling. Well, have fun, Calvin. You traveling for work, pleasure? How we doing? 1 PA rester evals. Well, I would lock up the PA for sure. That's a green day that's a green day. So that's 1 day counted for. That's 1 day counted as green. Evaluations, I mean, they're a dime a dozen. So if you see something else you like, Charlie, fire it. But the PA, just lock it. Get that 1 log day for the green day. Taking time to listen and study work. Does anyone know how to look at reports on Quantar? You got to go to accounts. That has a bunch of bubbles and stuff. Let me open up my Quantar here. There's a section here that I kind of like. I like Quantar because you can add all kinds of stuff that you want, right? But it's a little tricky to find the P&L. I'm loading mine up, but I think it's under accounts. It's ACCTS, that little box that says accounts. You should be able to see that there and then start scrolling down. Yeah, accounts panel. Yeah, go to ACC, right? My ACC, and then your account should be in the drop. You should have a drop down menu where you can choose that account, and it should show you the balances. So at the top of your screen, second to the last one, it should be like a light shaded red box. ACC. Go to that one. Should be able to see something there. Might give you your entire balance, but there's another way to pull up like a report too. Your report, you can be pulled up like on where is it at? Account performance. If you go to the Quantower logo in the left and you go to account performance, that'll show you, I think, your trade by trade basis, and then there was something else. But yeah, I mean, Quantower is great, dude. Once you get the hang of it, I like it. I guess what I could mark out here, it might be the initial balance high, right? Let's see what that initial balance high is and see if we got any steam back into that. 30 minutes, 1 hour, initial balance. See, that's the thing. Initial balance is here. This is a good area. So this daily 5, I don't need to add that either. The daily 5 sitting at around 21,450. That's around the zone of your initial balance. It's around the zone of yesterday's high, right? So any pullback, I'm looking for a pullback, right? Like when I say I'm looking for, I want to see the reaction. Doesn't mean I'm taking trades, but I'm looking for a pullback into this area. If the market pulls back, does 21,450s hold, right? That's it. If it holds, get into a smaller time frame and find the bounce off of that. Now, if we start to this, I'm pretty sure this is going to grind into 560s, right? If this grinds into 560s and then puts in some type of doji, some type of big wick, some type of hammer candle, and it falls back below 560, you can use that opportunity to take a little scalp, Okay, you're going against a trend, so it's a little scalp, and you're back below 567. You take a quick 5-10 points off that puppy, and then you lock it up. And if that continues to pull back, then your potential is here at 455. Now, if you lose 455 at any point in time of the day, all structures change. That's telling you that we rejected yesterday's highs, we fell back below initial balance, and the pressure is going to be down. Okay, so you're completely bull bias as long as you're over 450s. So it's up to you now to find those long positions, right? Where can you get long? The only short scalp that I would be interested in is a sweep of 560s, 570s. Show me a doji, show me an inverse hammer candle, show me a lower high, show me a double top on a small time frame, get short, use the high of day as a stop, short that puppy. Does that make sense? That's my two sides to the trade here. Now, if we break 560s, it goes to 570, it pulls back to 562, holds, and then pushes up and takes out 570. What do you think I'm going to be doing? Going long, right? So we're staying with the trend as long as the trend is going, and you're only going against the trend when you sweep a level of supply and you get some type of, like I said, doji, inverse hammer, a freaking double top. You're getting something like look at this like inverse hammer here that we have on this 1 minute time frame. I would have liked it to be at 567, but can I use 550 as a stop? Sure. Can I short this into 527? Sure. Right? So, what am I going to do here? Let's fire it, right? Let's fire it. That's an idea. We're scalping. Boom, 7 points. I'm out. Done. Just like that. Do you see how these ideas can come to play here? You're not looking for this to come all the way down to lows. You don't need it to come down here. You see, what do you see? Inverse hammer. Cool. Put a stop loss over that. Okay, we're driving down. As long as I'm underneath that stop loss, hold it, right? 7 points. 7 points. 1 mini contract. We are not fucking around, guys. We are not fucking around. But I'm going to lock this account out, though, to be honest. But I do that stuff a lot. Like I'm not sitting here looking for the picture perfect play. Like, you got an idea. We're coasting up. We're in lunchtime. Like, I'm looking for double top. I'm looking for inverse hammer. I'm looking for doji. I'm looking for following candles to take that out. I'm looking to short that into demand. I want to get in and get out, right? Now, depending on how far the pullback is, will depend on, where I plan on getting back in long. Like, I don't want to still stay here short. The trend is up, right? Look at how we pulled right back into this 20 SMA and it bounced aggressively. You want to sell into demand. You want to sell into supply. You're not anticipating that, oh, I'm in a great position, we're just going to keep on sinking. No, sell it into demand and be okay with what the market just gave you before you get smoked. And even if you guys are scalping one micro, you want to get good at scalping. Scalp one micro, take $10. Like, can you take 10, 12 bucks? Can you hammer out 6 of those trades? Can you make 50, 60 bucks? You know what I'm saying? That'll get you confident getting in, getting out of these trades. Getting in, getting out of these trades. Especially for you, Bill. If you want to get comfortable taking those losses, scalp the one micro, pick up 10, 12 bucks, get the hell out of the trade. You lose 15, 20 bucks, get the hell out of the trade, and see if you can produce a winning day. See if you can produce a winning day doing that, right? Like, that'll really help you. Fire your trades off, get in, take a quick scalp, get the hell out, get in again, get the hell out. Like, just keep getting in, getting out, right? Not expecting the one trade we get into to automatically always give us 25, 35, 45, 55 points, right? Now we got like this triple top here on this 1 minute chart with these wicks. So you know what this tells me? If we stay below 550, pressure's down. If we start taking out this supply and we bust over 550, that's worth a scalp, right? That's worth a scalp. On one micro, Bill, 70 on one micro. 2 micros. Okay, that's fine. I would want to keep our scalps on 1 micro around 30, 35 bucks. Like if you guys can scalp your way to $50 on 1 micro, you're in a really good spot to start putting on more size and turning that $50 day into a $200 day real quick with size. But you got to be okay with scalping 50 bucks, 50 bucks, 50 bucks, ending the day $75 in the red, $60 in the red, $80 in the red. Nothing more than $100. You know what I'm saying? Keep your losses under $100 on a day, scalp your way to $50 to $100 on a day using 1 micro, and then you're going to be in a pretty good spot. But I would do that for 30 days. Like I would do that for 30 days. Come in and fire it. If you're a trader who wants to fire a lot of trades, which I don't recommend, but if you want to fire a lot of trades, do it on 1 micro and prove to yourself that for 30 days you can come out with a positive P&L. If you can do that, then do it the next month with 2 micros and do the same damn thing. Right? If you're a trader who's coming in looking for 2 or 3 spots around 2 or 3 levels, then put on a little bit more size. Don't do it on 1 micro because you're going to be unfulfilled. Right? Like think about everyone who was waiting for the 30-minute opening range. It breaks. It doesn't confirm for a while. It chops around and then it confirms. And then you only take 15 points on it, 20 points on it with 1 micro. You're unfulfilled. Put on some damn size on that trade and get it and walk away. Right? Because that's your one and done trade. If it worked, it worked. If it doesn't work, then hell, you're out of it too as well. Right? And then you're just done on the day. And you just come back tomorrow and you do the same damn thing. And I'm not saying go put on, 2, 3 minis on the contract, but I mean, put a 3, 4 micros, 3, 5 micros on it. That way, if you take 20 points, you're going to make over $100 on it, $200.